What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As some of you may have known, I've been working really hard on my golf game. It seems like all my spare energy has been going into that. I'll get done with my internship, during the week, and I'll just go to the course if the weather's good, and I'll either be filming a video or I'll be practicing. That's been like every day for me. I'd go and use some of the things that I learned in this video. I'm almost to 500 subscribers. Very thankful for all you guys who have shown me support, and along the way I've been fortunate to build a friendship with this guy who joined us, Mason Rolder, who has a channel as well. He is just over 3,000 subscribers. A huge shout out to him. Go subscribe to his channel. It will be linked down in the description. Really helpful things in here. Even just pure golf knowledge, and then also some things that he thought could help me out. So I highly advise you guys take the time to watch this whole video. There's a lot of useful things in here, and I hope you guys enjoy. Huge shout out to Mason for joining me on this. And this is Road to Single Digit Handicap episode 4. This is part of that series, and the second part of this video will be on the course, covering what I took away from this video, this conversation, and kind of applying that. So that'll be the second part, but this week's video is just strictly just pure knowledge, and just it's kind of the things that are going to take me to the next level. But yeah, we've been working hard for quite some time now, so this was really useful to kind of practice with a purpose and all that stuff. So go check out Mason's channel, link to it down in the description, and hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to send you guys over to the conversation that we had, and comment down below what you like from this video. Peace. All right, guys, we are here with a fellow golf content creator and good friend of mine, Mason Rolder. Welcome to the channel officially.
What's up, guys? Happy to be here.
He is a lot better golfer than I am, so he's going to hopefully help us out on our road to single-digit handicap. In the past, we were just on-course content, just kind of playing, measuring my score that way. With this, we're going to get more of a direction, maybe a more mental side of things, like how to approach a game. So I got some questions here we're going to ask Mason, and he's hopefully going to help us out. So the first question I got for you is actually one of the things I've been struggling with a lot recently is, how do you mentally stay in a match when, things aren't going your way?
It's funny, because in college, I would always start off my first, 3-4 holes, over par. And then I'd settle in and get into it. But, if things aren't going your way, the perfect example is JJ Spawn in this past tournament, bro. He's 5 over through 6, and he comes back and wins the tournament. Golf doesn't owe us anything, honestly. Golf is so hard, and we put so much work in, but it still doesn't owe us anything. And as soon as you start acting as if oh, that should have broke this way, or oh, that was a bad kick, that was unlucky, you start feeling entitled. If you're overreacting, oh, you're not happy about hitting a shot to 15 feet or anything like this, you start to feel or even look entitled on the golf course, and that's where you don't want to be there. Take what the game of golf, all of what the game of golf gives you, and that's going to be some bad breaks. That's going to be, hitting it out of bounds. It's going to be hitting it in the hazard, maybe landing it on the front edge, spinning it back down a false front. This game has all the lows and all the highs at the same time. The biggest thing that I was taught was to just take everything in and be your best friend on the golf course, right? Because you can have things not go your way. Like JJ Spawn hits the flagstick, rips off the green. If he doesn't hit the flagstick, he's got 4 or 5 feet for birdie. He gets punished for a perfect golf shot. He hit a great golf shot, hits the flagstick, rolls all the way off the green. Now he's chipping in the U.S. Open. He's got false fronts everywhere. Right? He hit a good golf shot and was still, off the green. And rather than beating yourself up or swearing or losing it, you'd be like, okay, I got to go hit this next shot. We're going to go hit this next shot. You're going to not beat yourself up, because you got to be your own best friend on the golf course. That clicked for me maybe 2 years ago. I was kind of a mental head case. I broke one of my 5-irons in college.
Really?
Yeah, I was in a qualifier for college, which I was already on the roster, the travel roster to play, but I wanted to beat all these guys. We were so competitive that even in a qualifier, when I knew I was traveling the next weekend, I just wanted to be the top scorer coming in. And I missed this shot on this par 4, and it was a 5-iron, long par 4. And I hit a bad shot, and I threw my 5-iron at my bag, bent the 5-iron head. And next thing you know, my phone was in my bag, and it hit the pocket my phone was in. So I shattered my phone, bent my 5-iron, and from that moment on, I was like, this is not, you can't be doing this on the golf course. So it's at that moment I learned, you got to be your best friend. don't talk negatively about yourself. You just got to be confident and be your best friend on the golf course. Stay in a positive, optimistic headspace, and golf is going to test you, right? Golf is going to test you when you're down in a match, or you have your PR on the line. Like, golf is going to test you no matter what. It doesn't matter whether you're going for a 75, a 65, an 85. Golf is hard that day, an 85. Like, golf is going to test you, and you got to keep, you know, you just got to stay in it. I mean, you got
It's
to
a very
grind it out.
sport. It's a very
Like,
humbling sport. One thing I was gonna like add to that too, like, the only way to like, I'm sure you've heard the saying, like the only way to never hit a bad shot again in golf is to quit. Have you heard that?
I have not actually.
Yeah,
I've
but
tried quitting this game before, and I look where I'm at. I haven't
yeah,
quit. Said
right,
I've quit. Like I said, I've quit probably 2 or 3 times, and I never actually quit. So
right, yeah.
yeah,
JJ Spawn was like going to that too. Like he was just like I remember his like bogey train to start too. Like he was just like composed,
yeah.
like
He didn't.
exactly what you said. Like he just took what it was and just
It's
mentality like the next shot.
the biggest thing for that is when you're practicing your headspace and your mental game, you have to be constantly aware of the negativity that wants to creep up, right? Golf is so
Mm-hmm.
easy to one hand finish, or to just toss the club, or maybe throw your head cover on the ground, or throw it in the cart, or like aggressively rake a bunkers. Something like those are all negative reactions to how you're playing. And if
Mm-hmm.
those can build up very fast, it's a very slippery slope. One
Mm-hmm.
club throw turns into 5 club throws on the golf course. I mean, you saw the posts of everybody at the U.S. Open. You see Wyndham Clark destroyed the locker room. You see Rory break a tee marker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, as soon as one thing goes and you lose control of that mental headspace, of that optimism and confidence, the rest of the round is done. It's easy for like JJ Spawn, those first 4 holes. He could have hung his head and he could have just moped around and shot 78 like Sam Burns did. Or you could stay in it and be like, I still have 14 holes of golf left. Like, I've made 3 birdies in a row. Like, what's
Right.
stopping me from going and doing it again? Like, you just got to stay aware of all of this right here. And as soon as you let it go just a little bit, it's a downhill slope and your round is done.
Yeah.
So it's
I
just
love,
really constantly being aware of what thoughts are entering your head, and either acknowledging them or dismissing them, and not letting you act on it.
I love that mindset. I've like never thought about that, and like I can like relate to so many times like I've let the negative thoughts like get to me. I think it's gonna be super helpful. We're gonna move on to the next question here. Answering that question, you knocked out a few other ones. Like one of them I had on here was like the best advice for like damage control. You pretty much answered that, like not letting it get to you and stuff like that.
Basically,
Um,
be your best friend is the one thing I want you to take away from this, because it helped me a lot. Because negative self-talk is so bad for you, but it's so overlooked in this sport. Like, you
mhm.
can say, "Oh, that was pathetic. That was not good. Like, what am I doing?" Like, you'll hit a wedge, or you have an easy chip shot, and you hit it to 10 feet when you should be inside 5 feet. You're like, "God, what am I doing? That's so bad." But if you look at it, and if you were playing with somebody and they said those exact words to you about your shot, you would be like, You'd be like, "What the heck?" You'd be like, "Why are you?" That's pretty rude to say to your playing
Right,
partner.
yeah.
Like, but we do it to ourselves we don't care at all. We'll
And like you
say,
don't even
"Oh,
realize.
yeah, you're a pathetic loser." We'll say that in our head. "Oh, you missed the green with a wedge in your hand. You're so bad at golf." Or even it's just self-deprecating, like in a humorous way. It's still, our brain doesn't know the difference.
Hmm.
But you just got to think of, like, the things you say to yourself are the same things as if someone said that to you. If you would be offended, don't say it to yourself. That's a big one. I mean,
Hmm.
because I would never say, "Dang, you're a terrible golfer," to somebody who, just missed the green. But I'll say
Right.
it to myself
Yeah.
without a second thought. That's the
Right.
biggest thing, is you got to be, and it goes back to being aware. Like, you can't let those initial reactions, like, overtake your
Yeah.
golf game.
Moving on to the next question here. So how did you like break through from, your improvement timeline? Like so when you were a double digit handicap kind of in my shoes, like the 13 to 15 range, whatever, like what helped you break through to single?
Yeah. What is your handicap, by the way?
13.9 right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Getting
Yeah,
there.
you're getting to, like, the point where golf is the most fun.
Yeah, it's,
Like,
it's pretty fun right now.
I'd say once you start shooting around like 75 to 79, like, that is probably the most fun in golf, because you're competitive amongst pretty much you're going to be better than most people out there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a bad day, you're not going to be, it's not going to completely ruin your golf. It's not, your happiness level doesn't, base off of your score at the end of the day,
Right.
which most people shouldn't do. But anyways,
Yeah.
breakthrough, you definitely need to do probably 60% of your time putting, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, like 60% of your time should be spent putting, doing putting drills, tee drills, specifically
Mm-hmm.
inside 10 feet. Like you should be, every single day you go to the golf course, you need to be putting for at least an hour before you go do anything else. Maybe 45 minutes. Like I know most people don't have as much time as like others
Right.
do, but your first thing you do when you go to the golf course is go do putting. Set up a tee drill. Like there's so many variations. You can do compass drill. You can make up your own drill. I basically put like 3 tees. So I do like one from like 2 feet, then I go 4 feet, and then I go 6 feet all around the hole. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like a star. So it's like 3 tees this way, 3 tees this way. So I have 6 footers all around, and you make 3 in a row from each tee, and you go around the horn. If you miss one, you restart. So those 6 footers get brutal, especially if you pick a tough hole.
Yeah.
Like you have a downhill right to left kind of
Mm-hmm.
breaker. You can spend 20 minutes on one tee if you just got to make 3 in a row. And that's the thing, is
Yeah.
it builds pressure. That third one, you want to make it so you can move on to the next thing. It simulates pressure. I did that drill every single day for probably, I only took maybe out of one whole year of practice, I probably only took like 10 days off of golf
Wow.
that year. So I did it 350 days that year. I did that drill every day. And then after that drill, I would go to the chipping green. I'd chip for maybe 35, 45 minutes, go hit a warm-up bucket. Like I wouldn't practice on the range. I would go hit maybe 30 balls to warm up, and then I'd go play 9 holes. And that's what I did every single day. I putted for an hour, chipped for 45 minutes, hit balls for like 15 minutes, go play 9 holes. Playing 9 holes every day is probably what got me. That's the best practice. I mean,
Yeah.
you're playing real golf. For your time, you're a college student, you got an internship right now, 40% putting, 40% chipping, 20% full swing. Whether
Gotcha.
that's range balls or going and playing golf.
A big takeaway, like for me as of recently, is like, and what I tell people, like, because I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm starting to be above average, like from a lot of
Yeah,
people I play with,
for
and
sure.
they'll ask like, what, like Braden, like, how do you get better? I just tell them 3 words, and that's practice, practice, practice. Like
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done a different routine, but the fact that I was doing it every single day,
Right.
300, like 95% out of the year, I was at the golf course for 3 hours a day. It probably honestly didn't matter what I did. I was going to
Mhm.
get better.
Oh yeah.
But what I know now too is like what I need to do to get better, even at the level I'm at right now, is my short game is nowhere near the guys you see on TV. So what I need to do is I need to go practice my short game, just like I said. I
Hmm.
did hit a lot of balls today, but tomorrow I'm going to go chip for probably an hour and a half and then go putt for an hour. Short game,
Yeah.
like everybody says it, and it's so cliche to say, but these guys are getting up and down from anywhere inside 60 yards, these guys are going to get up and down,
Yeah.
65% of the time. Whereas, like, I'm going to get up and down 50%. And that 15% is a matter of making the cut or not,
Yeah.
you know?
So this actually kind of that leads into the next question. So like, how do you switch your mindset? Because like when people are practicing, and like when I'm practicing sometimes too, like I'll be having all these different swing thoughts I'm trying to implement that might be helping me out. Well, like how do you you switch that mindset from like when you're practicing to like to playing?
Dude, this is perfect. I love this question. I I explain this all the time in my lessons with people is there's 2 different kind of sides of your brain in golf, right? I might get this mixed up, but like the left side is going to be the technical version, working on technique on the range, drills, doing drills, hitting to a target, hitting a shot shape. That's where you're at in the range is you're there to work on things. You're there to get better. You're there to tweak things. Maybe today we're working on your position at the top, or today we're working on hitting a draw, right? You're there, you're going to be replicating a lot of stuff over and over and over again. You're going to be building something in your golf swing, and you're going to be aware of it, doing drills and all this stuff. On the golf course, you're going to have to go hit this next shot wherever it ends up, right? So
Hmm.
we're not going to go to the golf course with our left side of the brain where we're doing drills and doesn't matter where it's going. We're just trying to get the feel. On the golf course, we're on the right side of the brain, where we need to be trusting all the work that we just put in. So you need to turn that side of your brain off and trust everything that we just did. Say you're working on two specific things, whether it's short game or full swing or driver or putting stuff, probably a combination of all of them if you're practicing a lot. Say your previous 3 practice sessions, you're really, really working on stuff. When you go and play your next round, you got to turn all of that off and trust that it's in our swing now, right? Like if I'm working on getting my hands to a high position, I've just did that for 3 days in a row. I don't really got to think about getting them up there anymore. I just need to trust that they're going to be there. I put the work in 3 days, the last 3 days, and I go to the golf course. All I'm trying to do is score. All I'm trying to do is get the ball in the hole, right? I'm going to, flare one out. I'm going to hook one a little bit. That's why I practice my short game so much. So even if I do miss the green, you're going to miss the green with a 5-iron. Like tour pros, green and reg with a 5-iron in their hand is probably, the best players are probably 65% with a 5-iron. That's probably like Colin Morikawa numbers, and he's probably one of the best strikers on the tour. But they're going to get the ball up and down every time. They're missing the same amount of greens as I am on a given day, but I'm going to make more bogeys. They're going to make more pars. The biggest thing is just turning that side of your brain off, and now we're on the athletic side of the brain. We're on the reaction, the athletic side, the trusting side of the brain. So we need to go out there and be more like reactive. Like, okay, I need to go hit the cut. Like say there's a draw hole. Okay, I'm going to go hit a draw. Like I'm going to be an athlete and I'm going to go hit this draw. I know how to do it. I've done it 10,000 times on the range. I'm not going to sit there and be like, okay, for a draw, I need to get my hands here and then I need to shallow the club and then I need to release it. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to set up to this target. I'm going to hit a draw. I've done it so many times. That's what Brooks Koepka does. Brooks Koepka tries to not think about anything. He's like, I'm going to hit a cut. So it's just like, and it's really hard to do.
It is.
You got to do a lot of practice sessions and then try to take it to the golf course. And it takes a long time because when you're hitting the ball really well on the driving range, like after a lesson, you're going to want to go try it on the golf course. And so you got to be able to your mind and decide, is this 9 holes going to be a practice 9 or is this 9 holes I'm playing for score? Because those are two different things. I can go out and go play 9 holes working on a field that I just used on the range after my lesson, or I got to go play 9 holes. I'm going to go try to shoot 4 under on 9 holes. Like there's two different things. If I'm going to go try and shoot 4 under, I'm not going to go work on this feel at the top of my swing. I'm going to go try to make birdies.
Just play like thoughtless almost.
Yeah, there's differences. I'm not, you just got to decide what kind of round you're going to go play before you go do it. Don't go be like, okay, I'm going to go try this swing thought and try to break 40.
Right.
You're combating those two things. Because if you're trying stuff on the golf course, you're going to hit bad shots because you're trying something. You're working on something.
But the golf course is the best spot to practice because that's real out there. So.
Yeah, it's real. I would say the best practice is to go out and play practice 9s to try to translate your game to playing. If you hit a bad shot, drop one, go hit, if nobody's out there and it's the evening time, go hit a couple wedges into greens. Like go hit 2 tee shots. Like as long as you're not holding anybody up, there's nobody out there. Like you're there and you're there to go practice. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna go for this one ball, but I might hit a couple extra. Like you're just there to go try to translate things to the golf course.
Being a member at my home course here in Wisconsin, I'll kind of do that sometimes. Like during the week or whatever, I'll go up like after league finishes up, I'll just play like holes 1, 8, and 9, just wraps back to the clubhouse.
Perfect.
And I'll play 2 balls, one with like a driver and then one with like a 7-iron just to give me a different yardage into the green,
That's
practice.
Money.
So
that's money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next question here. Okay, so these are kind of like 2 like smaller questions. We're gonna go through these ones quicker because it kind of finishes up with some little more in depth ones. My computer keeps shutting off behind me with the lighting. Let me get that back. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta remember it's late too. So.
Yeah. Just real quick, what do you see like as a common mistake from like mid-handicappers?
Expectations for sure.
Okay.
A lot of people think that they're better than they are. Everybody does it. I do it. I would say for the most part, if somebody has a 10-footer for birdie, they're really trying to make it and they expect to make it. But if you look at tour average, 10-footers are probably 65%.
Right.
Make for the best players in the world who practice putting for like 3 hours a day. I mean, and then you look at tour average with wedges, especially like outside of 100, like once you get to like 120, average like distance to the pin is probably 20 feet, 22 feet.
Really?
But yeah,
Wow.
but they two putt or make those putts sometimes,
Right.
but they
Yeah.
two putt them every time. What we're doing is if we have a tough, left to right slider, we're three putting that, or we're
Right.
going to jack it by. Our speed control is not as good. If you had I can't say for you, but like for me, if I have a gap wedge in my hand and I hit it to 25 feet, I'm not very happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
I am now where I'm at because I can manage my expectations. Like, okay, that's a decent shot. Not what I wanted, but it's a decent shot. I wouldn't, get negative self-talk like
Right.
we just
Yeah.
talked about. I wouldn't say, man, you suck. Whereas before I would. I'd be a worse golfer than I am now, and I would be saying that I suck, but I'm a better golfer now, and I'm okay with that shot. The biggest thing is managing expectations. You don't want to have a wedge in your hand and be mad if it's outside 10 feet. Because
Right.
hitting it to 10 feet is tour, like top of the tour. You're going to hit a couple really good shots, but you got to realize that golf, you're playing your misses, right? You want your misses to be 20 feet and your good shots to be 10 feet. You don't want your good shots to be 15 feet and your misses to be off the green.
It's all about raising your floor, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You want your bad golf to be, what you need to do is your bad golf needs to be like an 85.
Mm-hmm.
And your good golf needs to be like a 77. Then you're going to hit probably 9. You'll hit single quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you gotta, I have a lesson on my YouTube channel where my coach taught her when he was playing in the US Open, and he said Tom Kite, he won it that year. Tom Kite was the only one practicing like the rough yardages. Like everybody's practicing for perfection, right? Everybody's practicing 2-iron off the tee, hitting the fairway, hitting a wedge on. He was out there practicing yardages he was going to have if he missed the greens, if he missed the fairways, what kind of shots he was going to have to hit if he missed the fairway right. It's all about angle. He was out there practicing for failure, and everybody else was out there practicing for perfection. On the golf course, you're going to fail a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hit a perfect shot every single time. If you had to hit a perfect shot, I wouldn't play the game. Too hard.
Right. Yeah.
Right? But we can miss a little bit. We can miss a little bit right. We can miss a little bit left in some depending on the course. But we got to be able to miss in the right spots, and we got to manage our expectations. If I got a 5-iron in my hand and I hit the green, I hit the 30 feet, I'm good with that. That's a good shot. But I see 20 handicaps. They'll like hit the driver off the heel a little bit and slice a little too much, but they're in the right rough. And they have a wide open shot. They're not under any trees. They're not in the water. They're not anywhere. And they're cussing at themselves. I'm like, you're a 20 handicap. You play once a week. You don't practice at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the rough and you have an open shot to the green. What are you mad about? So it's all about expectation, right? Expectation is probably what kills most mid handicappers, especially because they have I'll go on a different tangent on expectations. Is most people have an expectation before they tee off, like, oh, I want to shoot at 82 today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you go bogey, you're gonna be like, dang, I'm not starting off on where I need to be if I want to play my best round. So you need to go out with no expectation at all. Because if I go out and my expectation is shoot 3 under, and I start out bogey, I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work ahead of me.
Right.
But if I don't have any number in my mind, if I go out bogey, I'm not stressing about it. I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go play the next hole, try to get a birdie putt on the next hole. So it's just like expectations. Don't like ruin your game when it's not even like necessary.
I like that viewpoint a lot. This is because it kind of leads into the next question too. It might be the best piece of advice, but this is just like the best piece of golf advice you've ever gotten.
Especially, okay, so it's best piece of golf advice I've ever gotten is from Todd Irwin, my coach. Your worst putt will always be better than your worst chip.
I've heard that before. my high school coach said that.
I use that like when you're in tournaments, especially you got nerves, like you just missed the green, like maybe it's raining that day and it's like really wet and sloppy on like the fringe and stuff. Or like maybe you're on playing Bermuda grass and stuff, and you're like a little bit, especially mid-ams, they're not very comfortable with a wedge in their hand around the greens because it's all touch. That's why you need to go chip. Like get comfortable, get like to the point where instead of like thinking, oh, hopefully I don't skull this or chunk this. You're thinking about, okay, maybe this has a chance to win, like to go in. Like maybe I have a chance to go get that confident with a wedge in your hand. Like think about making chips rather than being like, oh my gosh, hopefully I don't blade this over the green. Because you probably have that thought come into your head sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
So it's like you need to go do the practice to where that doesn't go into your head. But when you're playing in tournaments and you got, you know, those added nerves, I always go back to that saying. It's like, okay, if I'm not confident about this chip shot, I'm just going to putt it. Because my worst putt will be better than my worst chip. Because my worst chip is either going to be chunked 2 feet in front of me or sculled over the green, and then I'm chipping again. And then you know what's going to happen? I'm going to putt that second one.
Yeah.
So putt the first one. Your worst putt is always better than your worst chip.
Okay, so we got, looks like 3 more questions. I'm going to jump ahead to this one first because we kind of just talked about it. So, like, how do you handle pressure?
So I think everybody that's at the level that I'm at and even above me, like on tour, but I play in a lot of golf tournaments where there's some money involved and stuff. So there's a lot of pressure tournaments that I'm in, a lot of pressure situations. But I think that's why we all love golf, is because we want the opportunity to perform when that pressure is on. Like I've had many, many amazing rounds of golf when it's just, you know, a casual round with my buddies and nobody's there.
Right.
But it's like when you're signed up for a tournament, there's a leaderboard, you're playing with other professionals or other guys that have the same goal as you. There's like that added pressure. And when you do pull it off, that's why we play the game. Is it feels so good to, you know, have a good round under pressure. That's why we do it. So I think pressure is different for other, you know, for other golfers, right? Me, I want, you know, a chance to win the golf tournament down the stretch, or I want a chance to make a nice paycheck down the stretch. Or maybe I want to beat this specific guy because he just, you know, he annoys me or something, right? Like there's different things that where you want it. For you probably want to, you know, play $5 a hole and beat your boys or something like that. Or like maybe you want to get your career best of like, what is your career best?
82.
Okay, so you want to break 80.
Well.
So all our pressure is different, but every golfer is the same. As when you do pull it off under pressure, that's the best feeling in the world, and that's what keeps you playing more and more and more and getting better and better and better. So like pressure's a good thing. So the biggest thing is like you want to embrace it. Like be grateful that you have the opportunity to feel the pressure, because then you have the opportunity to conquer the moment and like accomplish. You're gonna fail a lot. Like I mean, I've had pressure where you're just gonna absolutely like shank it. You're gonna chunk the crap out of it. You're gonna make double bogey. You're gonna make a 10 on a par 4 when you had a chance to qualify for an event. Like you're gonna have moments where you fail in the moment. That's kind of what everyone's chasing, is they want that pressure and then seizing the moment and actually coming on top. What am I trying to say? Coming on top when you had that pressure is like the best feeling in the world. So you just got to embrace it. Like the biggest thing that I tell myself when I'm feeling pressure, especially like over a putt, like a putt that means a lot, whether it's for a PR or like if I make this putt, I make more money in this tournament or whatever. I tell myself that I've hit this putt 10,000 times on the putting green, like, especially if it's like a 6-7 foot tester. I do these drills for a reason. It's like I'm just doing this drill. So like I try to take myself back to the moment of me doing the drill, and then it kind of like calms me a little bit. It's like, okay, I'm not doing anything different than when I hit this putt 100 times yesterday, right? Like if I'm doing those short putting drills like we talked about, you know, you're hitting one uphill right to left breaker, you know, 100 times in a row, because I have a putting mat right here. It's like dead straight. I was like, I'll try to take myself back to that moment of me prep to like calm myself. It's like, okay, it just throws you back into routine. Right. It gets your mind away from it. Kind of gets those nervous jitters out.
I like that a lot because one of my more recent videos that I posted, it was the Road to Single Digit Handicap episode 3, and I pulled it to a tee box, and there was a group of two younger guys in front of us. They weren't on the tee box, thankfully, when I hit it over there. Ended up on the tee box right in front of them. When they were standing on the tee box, I got over there. I was like super nervous because like got a camera guy with me, you know, whatever.
Oh, they're like, who's this guy?
Yeah. And I ended up hitting, and like it was a par 3, and like if you miss a green left or right, you have like no room to work with at all. Yeah. And I kind of like, I want to say almost like embrace the pressure a little bit, and I ended up putting it on the green, and I made the putt. So that felt awesome right there.
That's literally why we do it, dude. Yeah. I mean, a little added thing about pressure is you're gonna get used to it over time, but the scenarios change. So like the scenarios are gonna create pressure. So like if say Bryson DeChambeau comes and plays public round of golf when he's not filming it on YouTube, because he says he has a lot of pressure on YouTube. I mean, he's got a million people watching him. So
Right.
but like say he's not filming it, he's going and playing in like a men's club thing. He's not gonna have a whole lot of pressure on that first tee box. But when he goes and tees it up on the Masters on Sunday, he's going to have a lot of nerves.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you're going to get used to nerves, but there's also going to be new scenarios to where those nerves, like the nerves are never going to go away, but you can get used to because Bryson literally said this, like in a normal PGA Tour event, a normal live event, like he's getting used, like he'd be probably used to the first tee jitters by now on normal event. But say like in a major on Sunday in the final pairing with contention to win the tournament, there's going to be nerves there. So like he still gets those first tee jitters, but it's all about the scenario.
You kind of answered this one too already. It's just like, how do you keep your composure when you're playing well? I feel like you covered that already, kind of.
I have one little thing I could say. I feel like personally I play the best when I get out of my own way. And that's kind of what I basically said earlier is like, be kind to yourself on the golf course. Don't like think about what could go wrong. Think about this shot starting on line with the shot shape you want, but then don't get pissed off when it doesn't do that because golf is hard. But it's just basically like get out of your own way. Like don't let your brain get in the way of, making a golf swing that you can make. Like if I have a pitching wedge in my hand, I know I can hit it to 15 feet. What if I'm like, maybe I don't like this lie. I don't. It's just like, don't let that little voice in your head talk you out of confidence. It's just like, get out of your own way. If that thought comes in, you just brush it off. Like, nope, I got this shot. Like, I got this. So it's just like, get out of your own way. Like, there's so many amazing golfers in this world that we don't know about that aren't on tour because they can't figure out their brain. Like, they could go out and play with me and you and go shoot a casual 63, but as soon as, they're in Q school or they're in a tournament, their brain is jacked and they can't get out of their own way. They're overthinking, they're scared, they're nervous, they're anxious, and they never make it to the tour because they can't control it. They can't get out of their own way. So you just got to get out of your own way and play golf.
The last question here, you've seen a few of my videos, and you've given me a lot of stuff today, which is super helpful, but like, what is your biggest one piece of advice to me to help me get to single digit? I cooked up with these questions, not gonna lie.
I know. I want to say something maybe different than what we just talked about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the biggest like one piece of advice that I'd give you.
I think the mental side is huge. I think that's gonna like transform, just how
that's kind of what I preach with a lot of my lessons is like just getting people to understand that like this game is so hard. And it's like, you got to be your best friend out there and just not make it any harder than it already is. The biggest thing I'd give you is you need to practice with purpose. Whether it's, and I think you're already starting to do that. I saw some of your stuff, like you're doing some tee drills on the putting green and you're going through your routine, which is nice. Like, I like to see that. But practice with purpose with everything, right? Like, whether it's putting, if you line up your ball, every putt, and with some of these tee drills, it's hard because you don't want your footprints to ruin the tee drill.
Right.
So it's like some drills you can do it, some drills you can't. But like if you can do it, mark your ball down, line it up with the break, go through your routine. Try to get it, like literally go through your routine on every putt. You might be there an hour and you might have only made like 60 putts for an hour's worth of work, but they were quality 60 putts. Like you went through your routine, you lined it up. Like that's what's going to take you the pressure off when you do have that 6-footer for pressure like we just talked about, and you do your routine, you practice your routine in your practice session. So it's like it kind of subconsciously takes you back to where you've made this putt 60 times. So that takes that pressure off. Whether it's in the full swing, you go through your routine, whether it's 2 practice swings, 1 practice swing, step off the ball, align yourself, go. Do your routine on the range. Because then again, when you have a 7-iron on a par 3, say you're playing carryover with your buddies, and this one hole is now worth like $45. Everybody missed the green. You want to make that money, right?
Yeah.
Like when you do your routine on the golf course and you've done it in your range video, like on your range, it literally subconsciously takes you back to the range to where you hit that shot 10,000 times. So it's like that's my cheat code to just like trying to kill the pressure. These all kind of like collide. But it's
Yeah.
like do your routine, and part of that is like just focused practice. Like if you're chipping, it's easy to just have a pile of golf balls and just do one chip over and over and over again. But you need to like step off, practice your cadence, practice your routine, addressing the ball. You know, for you, addressing the ball is pretty important because
Right.
you need to get your alignment dialed. So it's like I always go back to my alignment every single day when I'm hitting golf balls. I'll put alignment sticks down, and because alignment needs to stay fundamental. Like every time you go and play, you see tour pros with alignment sticks down, and they're the best players in the world. You've
Mhm.
got to always make sure your alignment's good. So it's just focused practice. Don't just throw in AirPods and swing driver for 45 minutes.
Right.
Like you need to have a purpose for each swing. And you'll notice when you go on the golf course, once you get to a better level, a shot that you should normally hit, like say hitting a wedge to 10 feet, you know,
Hmm.
from 75 yards, and you miss the green, and you're like, how did that happen? And you realize you didn't have a single focus thought in that golf. You just like did it. You just went.
Yeah.
And I do that all the time. If I hit a bad shot where I should normally hit a good one, it's like
Hmm.
I didn't put 100% into that shot. Like I didn't go through my routine. I didn't think
Right.
it through. I didn't, commit to the golf shot. I just went up there, stepped up, and hit it. So it's just like have a purpose behind everything.
I like that a lot. Well, Mason, I gotta say, I really think I learned a lot in this little session here. I think it's gonna not only help like how I play, but like obviously how I approach the game and everything like that. I think single digit is very much in play for the end of the summer.
Oh, easily, easily.
I think so,
Yeah,
especially at the rate I've been practicing. I dropped
yeah.
4 off my handicap in the month of May.
I was gonna say, dude. I thought last time we talked, you were
Yeah,
like an 18 or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
18. Went from an 18 to I think it was a 14.1 in the month of May.
yeah.
So that was
That's
really
good.
cool. And then I'm just kind of getting out of a slump right now. I got in my head a little bit and I tried changing things a little too much, and I'm just kind of starting to get out of that now. I think this is going to help out. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
all about how you approach it because
Yeah.
this game is so hard. You just got to be
Mhm.
good on yourself.
Yeah. I always joke around like, when I decided to like make this channel, of course like decided to choose the hardest sport in the world to
Yeah,
pursue, you know.
yeah.
Anyways, to you guys watching, I hope you enjoyed and found some value out of what Mason had to offer today. The link to his channel will be down in the
Oh,
description. Go show him some love. Just past 3,000 subscribers, so he's going up there.
yeah.
So yeah, he posts great content. Be sure to subscribe to his channel as well, and we will see you guys.
Good luck. Hey, keep in touch.
Yes, sir.
Keep in touch. Let me know how it goes.